to the BDP Beat. I'm Tori Roden.
And I'm Aiden Stovall.
As of this school year, theater hasn't been the only place to have drama. The Blue Crew began as a group of students who came together to cheer on our Blue Devils. This year has been different due to a conflict between Trey Hudson and Ashlyn McWilliams, who can't seem to decide who will be the leader of the Blue Crew. This conflict has students questioning whether or not there should be one single leader at all. We interviewed Trey and Ashlyn to get their take on the situation.
It was the second day of school, and we went up to Langford about the Blue Crew because we heard that no one's leading yet, and we're like, okay, well, let's go see what's up. So we went to Langford and we're like, hey, who's leading the Blue Crew? We need to get stuff together, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, well, Trey Hudson already went to Owen Clark and was like, hey, dude, I'm leading the Blue Crew. Well, Trey doesn't deserve it because he was just PFL last year. So we went to talk to Trey, and we had this Renaissance. Miss Carver came to our class in cosmetology and was talking about Renaissance and pep rallies and the student section, how we all need to be involved. So we were talking about it in Renaissance, and Miss Carver was like, who's leading it now? And we were all like, Trey Hudson, but Trey Hudson doesn't deserve it, blah, blah, blah. And so she was like, okay, well, let's call a meeting, and I'll pull you and Trey aside. So I was like, all right, let's do it. He was saying how he's going to do all this and do all this and bring everyone together, and that didn't happen. It was him and his friends versus me and my friends. Well, I think that everyone who wants to be in Blue Crew should be able to pitch ideas and all this stuff. So, because I've been going to White House ever since pre-K, and I've had BDP ever since BDP was a thing, since I knew what it was in middle school. So my plans are to get all the classes, all the different groups to come together as one, as a whole student section. I try calling meetings, but since Trey's begged everyone out of money, no one wants to come to the meetings anymore. But I try to get everyone's ideas. I try to get talk to people. I'm like, hey, what do you want this theme to be like? Just things like that.
All right, so basically how it all went down was I was sitting at lunch one time with Ashton Huffines, and she was like, hey, what do you want to do for the Heritage game? And I was like, I don't know, what the leader, whatever. So I DM'd Caleb Jenkins. I was like, yo, do you think I should be leader? He was like, yes, and he gave me the password. So then, and since coming from Heritage, I kind of wanted to be a big deal, and I kind of want to get hyped for it. So I got the leadership, and I started doing stuff, and I got a bunch of stuff done for the Heritage game, and it was a great turnout. It was one of the best sections I've ever seen from White House, and it was fun. And then one day right before the game, Miss Carver just pulled me in, and that's where the whole Ashton thing went down. Because I was appointed by the students and Caleb Jenkins, and the Heritage game was phenomenal. I mean, obviously for big games, for away games, and once it gets cold, maybe just a section to yell and stuff, but when we can, for homecoming and big rival games, obviously we want to do a lot of stuff, have themes. I got a Hawaiian theme, I want to do a neon theme, a jersey theme. So every week I kind of just base it off what I'm feeling like that Monday. But as long as it's good weather and as long as it's a good game, I kind of hope everybody just has a good time tonight. I just want people to realize, just because I'm the leader doesn't make me more important than anybody else, you know what I'm saying? The only reason I'm the leader is because I just do everything before Friday night, and then I kind of just join in with everybody else. So, I'm basically just here to be a helping hand. It's not really any different.
We interviewed Miss Carver to get her thoughts on why the Blue Crew should come together as a matter of Blue Devil pride.
Blue Devil pride is also about coming together as a family, and that means that we put aside all of our differences that we may have and come together and support our common cause. And that means we have high expectations for each other. That means that we have integrity, and part of that integrity means that conflict resolution. That means that we can show grace to other people, and that we can come together and say, we're here even though we don't agree, and we're here to support these sports teams or these clubs, and to support everyone in our school, no matter what that looks like. It's coming together as one community and one school.
Tune in after homecoming for another update on the confrontation between the Devils.
Lately, an important issue has been dress code. Yes, dress code. We talked to students and faculty alike to get their opinions and found them to be as varied as color on a hair chart.
So what do you think of the school's dress code?
I think we should have freedom of expression. If it distracts you so much, you just shouldn't come to school.
On girls, it's made like a little bit more strict. I feel like girls should be able to wear what they want, and it should have to be based on guys getting distracted, because we're here to learn, not to check out girls or get a boyfriend or a girlfriend.
So what's your definition of natural hair color?
Natural hair color to me is any color in your hair that isn't like distracting, or pretty much just like any color hair that you were born with. Honestly, like obviously bright red hair isn't natural or anything.
Hair color's a hard one because it's hard to determine what's natural and what's not. That's what we asked Ms. McClure. But again, personally, it wouldn't really bother me as long as you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. But it was a county rule that was implemented. And that's a hard one because I couldn't come and say, well, you can have pink hair tips because it's not distracting, and then you can't have a green mohawk because it is distracting. So then it would become a judgment call. So that's why they just finally cut it out and said absolutely no unnatural extreme hair colors. So.
What do you think about nose rings and piercings?
Piercings should be fine, honestly. They're not distracting. Nobody's going to be staring at you.
It's one of those things where they've asked us to be more strict about it. If that's my personal opinion. They don't bother me. It's not my favorite thing. I wouldn't go and do it. But since it is a county policy, we have to enforce it, and we have to enforce it consistently. So to me, what I would say is if you want the policy change, you need to go higher up, because we're just the enforcers. We didn't make the policy.
Whether we talk about it or not, dress code will always be an issue among people who, as long as common sense is debatable.
It may take a little more than common sense to pass yet another test.
So our state legislature, so the Tennessee state legislature, decided last year that all seniors in public schools, in order to graduate and receive their diploma, they must pass a citizenship test. Yes, every single senior, does not matter if you were naturally born here or if you came through the citizenship process, you must take the citizenship test. The county is working on when the deadline has to be, but students will have as many opportunities as they need in order to actually pass the test.
What phrase means that no one in the United States is above the law?
Democracy.
What do we call the first 10 amendments to the Constitution?
The Bill of Rights.
What are two rights named in the Declaration of Independence?
Isn't like the right to bear arms? Is that one?
What is Susan B. Anthony best known for?
Not sure.
Who was president during the Great Depression?
Hoover.
Ready?
Go.
Who was president during the Great Depression?
Hoover Henry.
How many stripes are on the flag?
13.
What are two rights named in the Declaration of Independence?
I do not know.
If both the president and the vice president can no longer serve, who becomes president?
Secretary of State.
If both the president and the vice president can no longer serve, who becomes president?
Someone other than them.
What prevents the president from becoming more powerful than other branches of the government?
Checks and balances.
What prevents the president from becoming more powerful than the other branches of the government?
The other branches of the government.
At the moment, the citizenship test doesn't have a set date, so how many times can one fail this test? Answer: as many times as it takes.
Although the library has coffee, it doesn't have shelves. They should arrive by mid-October and hopefully will be installed soon thereafter. We all know the renovation has not gone completely according to plan, but things are smoothing out now. The technology standoff between the county and technology subcontractor, Beacon, pushed things back. However, Beacon has been replaced and we can move forward with trying to loosen ends with our labs and classrooms. Despite the shelfless library and computerless computer lab, things have settled down and the theater is finally ready for all the performances it could desire, and the bathroom work. All in all, the White House High School Glow Up has been a success.
In addition to the ongoing renovations here at White House High, the Blue Devils recently made a splash with our new swim team. Ms. Thorpe, dove into the details for us.
Tryouts for the swim team. We don't have tryouts this year since we're building the program from the ground up. If you're interested and you pay the $150 swim fee, then you will be on the team for the year. We might have to have tryouts in later years when the program develops, but as of right now, there are no tryouts.
No workouts since season started.
So season starts October 1st, and workouts practices are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 7 to 8:30 at the Springfield YMCA, and then hopefully Thursdays at the Hendersonville YMCA. And it goes through January, and then those swimmers that make it to finals will continue and swim with me until February. So for swim team, to swim in the pool, you need a Speedo. For females, it's a one-piece Speedo. For males, it's either the traditional Speedo or the long length Speedos that can go down to the kneecaps. And swim caps and goggles.
In the world of academics, there are some important deadlines coming up. We talked with Ms. Curtis about what students need to know.
Some important academic deadlines is currently the Tennessee Promise is available for seniors. They can complete that application. October 1st, the FAFSA becomes available to our seniors.
If you're one for mystery, you will be glad to know that the theater is working on their newest play, Sherlock Holmes. The play begins on October 3rd and runs through the 4th.
According to theater student Peyton Frazier, the props and costumes are in the full rehearsals are on. Another play taking place this year is Peter Pan. We can't wait to see who else they are planning this spring. Make plans to see the play in their new chairs and under new lights.
In club news, the FFA horse judging team started the year by taking 8th place in the Shelbyville Walking Horse Celebration in the Senior Reasons Division. In the Non-Reasons Division, Team A took home 1st place. Freshman Dylan Mullins moved on to the state competition at the Miller Coliseum in Murfreesboro with Tori Roden, Alexis Reeves, and Katie Winans, placing 48th out of 68 after 68 teams. Well, that about wraps it up for this broadcast. Remember, next week is homecoming week, so get your PJs and princess dresses ready for some of the dress-up days.
That's right, Monday is pajama day. Just please make sure they're clean and you take care of your morning breath and eye crust.
Tune in the last week of September for homecoming coverage. Too, we'll talk to students who have lived in abroad places like Japan, Minnesota, which is abroad enough where we've spent your life in a small town.
Also, we'll talk to a White House High School graduate who had enough grit to make it to the distinguished MIT. She'll share her journey with us. That will be more featured in the next edition of the BDP Beat.
Until then, have a great weekend and homecoming week.